You're on your way home. Another day. Your body is tired, your mind running numbers. You stare out the bus window, stuck in traffic, and think, was it supposed to be like this? You did everything right. Followed the script, study hard, get a good job, work diligently, be honest. And at the end of the day, here you are, exhausted, feeling like you're running in place. Your paycheck comes in but disappears before the month is over. The promises of freedom feel like a distant joke. The harder you try, the more it seems to slip away. And deep down, you know, it's not just about money. It's something deeper, like an invisible force holding you back, keeping your life on repeat mode. That force has a name: programming. A program that started before you even knew what money was. A frequency that isn't yours but runs through your body, your thoughts, your energy field. And today, I'm going to show you how to turn it off. Because in the next few minutes, I'm not going to give you empty motivational quotes or tell you to just think positive. That's surface level compared to what's really happening. Instead, I'll show you the real reason you're stuck. And it's going to blow your mind, because it has nothing to do with how hard you work, your intelligence, or your worthiness. It has everything to do with energy, frequency, and how reality truly operates at its deepest level. Let me start with something that may sound absurd at first. Money isn't real. At least, not in the way you think. It's not paper. It's not coins. It's not numbers on a screen. It's not even value the way you were taught. Money is energy, pure energy, materialized frequency, and that changes everything. Right now, your frequency is tuned to one of two signals. Yes, I'm open to wealth, or no, stay away. And here's the brutal truth. Most people are broadcasting stay away 24/7 while desperately chasing what they've energetically rejected. That's why the harder you push, the more money escapes. That's why you can work 80-hour weeks and still feel stuck. That's why life feels like an endless treadmill, because you're operating on the wrong frequency. And it's not your fault. You didn't choose this. It was installed in you before you even had a choice. Think about it. You were 7 years old. You asked for something simple, a toy, a game, something that made you happy, and you heard, money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Or money is dirty. Maybe you saw your parents arguing in the kitchen about bills, voices tense, fear thick in the air. Those words didn't just go through your ears. They imprinted on your nervous system like code. They taught your body a truth that was never true. Money equals stress. Wanting more equals disappointment. And those beliefs didn't just stay in your mind. They sank into your muscles, your breath, your cells. Before you were 10, your money map was locked. Not based on universal law. Not based on your potential. Based on fear. Your parents' fear. Their parents' fear. Generational poverty programming passed down like an invisible heirloom. Only far more toxic than any object. Then came school, sealing the final layer. Sit down, obey, trade time for money. Did anyone teach you how to think like the wealthy? How to build assets? How to align your energy with abundance? No, they taught you to obey, to wait for permission, to ask for raises instead of creating wealth. They didn't train you for freedom. They trained you for dependency. And to top it off, religion wrapped it all in guilt. Money is the root of all evil. Blessed are the poor. It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. Or maybe you grew up on TV shows and movies where the rich were portrayed as greedy villains and the poor as virtuous saints. Those phrases and images aren't harmless. They create a subconscious equation. Wealth equals sin, poverty equals virtue. Which means every time you try to prosper, you feel guilty. And every time you fail, you feel a strange sense of righteousness. But let's question that. How were temples built? How were sacred texts printed? How did saints feed the poor, travel, spread their messages. Not with poverty, with resources, with wealth channeled for good. The truth is money doesn't corrupt. It amplifies. If you're selfish, it magnifies selfishness. If you're generous, it multiplies impact. Money isn't evil. Money is neutral. And whoever controls the narrative about money, whether it's holy or sinful, controls you. Here's the point. If your subconscious believes wealth is dangerous, your body will fight to keep you safe by keeping you broke. That's why even today, when opportunity shows up, you sabotage it without realizing. You charge less than you're worth. You over-deliver until you're drained. You apologize for wanting more, not because you're humble, but because your nervous system is screaming, stay small, stay safe. Let me ask you, have you ever felt like having a lot of money would make you owe someone? Do you hide your desires so you don't seem greedy? Does the idea of total financial freedom excite you and terrify you at the same time? If yes, that's not random. That's the old program running. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. This isn't just in your mind. It's in your body. Every fear you've ever felt about money, every moment of financial stress, none of it disappeared. It's stored in your tissues. That knot in your stomach when the bills arrive, that's not just anxiety. It's a physical memory. That tension in your shoulders when you talk about money, it's inherited struggle living in your muscles. Wilhelm Reich called it character armor. Modern science calls it somatic storage. Ancient wisdom calls it blocked life force. Whatever the name, the result is the same. Your body is defending against abundance. Literally. And until you release that, no amount of hustle will change your financial reality, because your nervous system will hit the emergency brake every time you get close to wealth. How do you change it? First, by understanding what you're really dealing with, energy. Your body is electric. Every heartbeat, every thought sends electromagnetic signals that extend beyond your skin, 6 to 10 feet around you. And that field carries information, not in words, but in vibration. And vibration doesn't lie. You can say, I'm ready for wealth, all day long. But if your frequency is screaming, I'm scared, life responds to the scream, not the script. Dr. David Hawkins mapped this in his research on consciousness. Shame vibrates at 20 hertz, guilt at 30, fear at 100, anger at 150, love, 500, gratitude, above 900. And where does poverty consciousness vibrate? Between 20 and 100 hertz, the same range as shame and fear. And where does wealth consciousness vibrate? 500 and above, the same range as love, joy, and gratitude. You can't attract high-frequency money from low-frequency emotions. This isn't philosophy. It's physics. Matching frequencies resonate. That's why gratitude journals work, when done right. Not because writing, I'm grateful, magically creates money, but because gratitude literally raises your frequency. Same with meditation. Same with visualization. Wealthy people don't do these things because they're mystical. They do them because energy follows coherence. And when your energy is coherent with abundance, life bends to meet you. But here's the kicker. Wealth doesn't go to those who need it most. It goes to those who embody it first. Money isn't attracted to need. It's attracted to certainty. That's the paradox no one tells you. You don't become secure after you get money. You get money after you feel secure. That's what Neville Goddard called the law of assumption. Don't imagine wealth as a wish. Imagine from it as if it's already normal. Not exciting, not overwhelming. Normal. Because to the wealthy, wealth is normal. And when you master that inner state, you don't just change your life, you change your lineage. Think about it. Every man or woman in your family who died with nothing, who sacrificed dreams for security, who believed life was struggle, they're watching. They're hoping you'll be the one to break the chain. And when you do, you don't just free yourself. You rewrite the code for generations after you. That's how powerful this is. So what's the move? First, awareness, then alignment, then activation. Awareness that your current reality is not fate, it's frequency. Alignment through practices that shift that frequency. Breath work, movement, sound, gratitude, visualization, nervous system regulation. Activation by living today as the version who already has it. Speak like that person. Move like that person. Decide like that person. Because in the quantum model, reality doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. And when you become that person, when you broadcast certainty so strong the universe can't ignore it, wealth doesn't trickle in. It floods. Opportunities show up that didn't exist before. People will call it luck. You'll know it's alignment. So here's the challenge. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Decide. Say it out loud. I am the frequency of wealth. Not I want to be. Not I hope to be. I am. That's the highest signal you can send. And when you send it consistently, through your thoughts, your body, your actions, everything changes. Because this isn't motivation. It's mechanics. Energy responds to structure. Your field is your fortune. Your frequency is your future. So stop waiting. Stop chasing. Start being. Wealth isn't coming. It's already here. You just have to tune in. Welcome to your new reality. Welcome to wealth consciousness. It was always yours. You just forgot. Until now. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Here, you won't find empty promises. You'll find the keys to rewrite your reality. Because your life wasn't made for scarcity. It was made for abundance. And that journey starts now, with you choosing to step into it. Are you ready? Let's go.